So Scorpio, this is Jesse with 44 Astro with a full moon tarot reading for August 30th and through 31st. This will be a rare super blue moon. Super moon means it is 14% bigger in the sky because it is in perigee with the Earth. So in its elliptical orbit, it will be at the spot that is closest to the Earth. So we're really going to feel this moon. Blue moon just means second full moon during a calendar month. The saying once in a blue moon, it happens like once every 2.7 years. It will be in the 27th mansion of the moon. The 27th mansion is good for like farming, making money, these types of things, and healing, specifically healing. It's not good for starting new projects or traveling. I'll put a picture up about the 27th mansion of the moon so you can read it. It will be at 7 degrees Pisces when it's totally full. It will also be conjunct Saturn. The conjunction will start in Aquarius and then go into Pisces, and it will be full at 7 degrees Pisces at 9:35 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It will be opposite the sun, and Saturn will also be very close to Earth, as close as it gets in its elliptical orbit. So we will feel big bad Saturn. Satan in astrology, we will feel him, and he is opposite the sun. He's been opposite the sun a little while now, ever since the sun was in Leo, toward the end of Leo, and now into Virgo. For Scorpio ascendant, this will be in your 4th or 5th house as far as the actual conjunction with Saturn. So that's going to involve your self-expression. Your mission on Earth will be tested in some way by Saturn. Your boundaries will be tested. Or will have to do in your home life, because the 4th house is the home, or with your mother. The moon is also the mother. So this conjunction, you may find that there is an illness in your mother, and that it is brought to light by the sun, and then it is healed because we're in a healing mansion of the moon. It could be that you find an illness within yourself, or there's something that needs to be fixed in your home because it could be affecting your 4th house depending on the degree of your ascendant if you are Scorpio ascendant. Because Pisces, where it will be full, is a dreamy sign and an unconscious sign, and so is the moon, a dreamy and unconscious card. You may be having vivid dreams at this time. They may not be the best of dreams either. They may be dark dreams. But the unconscious will be trying to bring things to light because it'll be opposite the sun, so it'll be a good time to bring those things to light and to heal them, integrate them. Oh, right there. Also, the yogis practice this thing called Ekadashi. Ekadashi is fasting, basically, and it is done in the Hindu tradition 3 days before the full moon and new moon, and on the full moon and new moon. And they do this because the yogis understand the cycles of the universe and in the human body, and that they're intertwined. An example being that the average length of a female's menstrual cycle is 28 days, as is the phases of the moon is 28 days. That's just one example. So because they understand the cycles of the human body and of the universe, yogis, they automatically know the day that they're supposed to fast, the day that they don't need food so that their digestive system can reset. But the average individual doesn't. So in India, they practice something called Ekadashi, and they'll fast 3 days before the full moon and new moon, and on the full moon and new moon. And that's a really major fast, by the way. I've done it many times. It's rough. But it'll help them catch that day so that they can reset their digestive system. And fasting in of itself is very healthy. Once you fast for a certain amount of time, and this is medical science, your body will enter into autophagy, which is where your body will start eating itself. But what it does, and if you fast for too long, I mean, clearly you'll die from starvation, but we're not doing that, just a few days or even just a day or whatever. Your body enters into autophagy. It takes about 16 hours to get into it. It will first start eating your bad cells, your damaged cells or disease cells, to feed your good cells. So that's why fasting is so beneficial to people, because of autophagy. And you can look it up if you want. I'm telling you the truth, I promise. Also, because Big Bad Saturn is involved with this conjunction, he likes to take things or put boundaries away from around us because he is the big malefic. So maybe giving up something on your own, or voluntarily giving up something on your own, maybe he'll be less likely to take something if Saturn was indeed trying to do that. But with all that being said, we're going to get you a moon card. We're going to start the tarot reading, Scorpio. Just thought I'd give you all that information, as astrology is very tied into the tarot. Astrology is the reason tarot exists in the way that it does, and why it's always done by sign, and why each symbol is representative of an element. Astrology predates everything, even all religion. And that's why I said Satan is Saturn, and just like the sun would be representative of Jesus or God, the Son of God, the bringer of light. And all religion is based off of those two simple facts. Those two energies are based off of those two planets. And there are many examples in the Bible of them mentioning the zodiac. For example, in Ezekiel, when he sees the chariot, he sees the 4 fixed signs. That's just one example. There are many. I'll hope to eventually make a video going over all those examples in the Bible. Even in the Quran, they call the devil Shaitan, and that's also Saturn, just like Ahriman is in Zoroastrianism, and Ahura Mazda is the light, is the good. It's all intertwined, all of it. Come on, where's that moon card for Scorpio? Make sure I covered everything I wanted to cover. Yeah, that's it right there. The end of a tough cycle approaches. This card actually fell out when I was getting the deck out earlier, and I'm a Scorpio too, so maybe I'm intertwined with y'all on this one. Maybe I'm in touch with you. It says the end of a rough cycle approaches, which is always a good thing. And this may be a rough cycle with this Saturn conjuncting the moon. We will feel it, and you're going to feel it a couple days before and a couple days after the energy. And with it being opposite the sun, it's going to bring things to light, things that probably need to be healed. But the current question or the current situation has to do with a new journey, and it looks like a new journey in money. And it's like maybe you've been preparing because, or you're having to save money and like budget and all these things. You've been having to preparing, and you're wondering if you're ever going to get out of that phase and be, it could be the question, get out of that phase and be more financially stable. A new journey in that, am I going to be living a different life in money because I've been having to live like this? Or it could be that you've having to, fight for every bit of money that you've gotten, or whatever this new beginning in money is. And it could be an offer. You're asking about an offer you expect to be coming in, and you're trying to be ready for it. And that's, the question or the situation. The current path has to do, it could be with a large business. I mean, you could be expecting an offer from a large company. It could be something you're trying to build in social media with the Hierophant there. You're waiting, clearly, with the 2 of rods, and you've been moving away or toward. Looks like you've been moving away from waiting in some way, like you've been waiting forever for this offer, and you feel like you're at the verge of walking away or giving up. But you don't need to give up because it looks like it looks like it's coming. It looks like there's a transformation down here, and the advice is saying, you have the wish card there with the 10 of cups, so it's coming. It just feels like you've been waiting forever. At least that's what it seems to me. Or you're trying to get discovered maybe on social media with this, whether it's like Instagram or YouTube or Twitch or whatever program you're using, and you've been working your butt off and you've been putting the work in, and you're waiting, and you've done all that you feel like you need to do, but like you're at the point it's like, I'm ready to give up. And it could be you're walking away from an offer. Someone's offering you something. It could be like a settlement or something. It could be a company's offering you a severance package or something because you're leaving the job. You're walking away. And that could be kind of what this is, You're asking about, retirement, a 401k, or even unemployment from leaving a job, something like that. And you're waiting for it. I mean, this card could also kind of represent traditions in some way. Like maybe you're walking away from a traditional type life or a traditional type job to do something different, less traditional, which screams Scorpio. You definitely do something like that. Mind the kitten. She's going crazy. Killing her little fake mouse. This is the other path you can choose. And it could be that some Scorpios are on this path and some Scorpios are on the other path. And it could be you have a choice between either one. This is one of confusion and worry about money. And like you feel like you're resting or you're tired of worrying about money. Like you feel like you can't see the results. But again, what does this say? Boom, end of a tough cycle approaches. So it's coming to an end. So you've been worried and you've been waiting. And it feels like, there's some kind of secrets or stuff's being hidden from you. You're not seeing the results that you thought you were supposed to see. And like, you're like, okay, I'm getting tired of this. I'm about to walk away. But with that also being said, this is the advice. The advice is, hey, stick with it. Stick with your wish. Keep nurturing this because you're going to get everything. You're going to get it all. You're going to have your complete happiness. You're going to have your 10 of cups. You're going to have it all. You're going to have your wish. You're going to have your healing. All of that. Like, it's all good. And like I said, I don't really focus on the bottom of a deck a lot, but when you see this as well with this reading, it makes sense that it'd be some kind of new beginning. Something you're passionate about too. It doesn't really scream relationship or anything because I don't see any love cards here. Anything that would suggest it's a new relationship. Looks like it has to do with money specifically. Some kind of new journey in money. You're trying to get that big change. And that's the thing with Scorpios. When we have big changes because of the nature of Pluto, right? Anytime we gain something, we also have to lose something because that's just the nature of Pluto and of Scorpio. Something has to die so that something can be built. That's just, it's the nature of the Reaper, the number 13, the death card, transformation. That's why even transformation is represented by death because something always has to die. And look, it's all three major arcanas in the outcome. So this is big energy. And you're going to have the world, a completion of something. The transformation will be complete and you will be the emperor or you will be the boss of the situation. Maybe you're going to be discovered or you're going to create a business or you're going to be promoted to being a boss of a business. That type of thing. Because that's what this energy could be. It could be a transformation, a completion, You're getting the world offered to you. And in this, the world is being offered to you. It could be a job offer, right? The world is being offered to you in some way. It could be like you get discovered and you get like a big contract for something, whatever that may be. With this, it could be major discovery about a big company. It could be on the internet even, right? And then that gives you the world. And this individual is offering you the world. When you get the world with the Two of Rods, this is offering the world, and the outcome is the world. So you have the world, right? I think either one of these paths, you're getting the world. And that's death, that's transformation, that's something dying so something can be built. And it maybe has to be, your anxiety or your worry or whatever you were doing before has to die so that this new emperor energy can come in. And it could be a new boss for you or that you could be the new boss. And with Scorpios, we like to be the boss one way or the other. Even we may not want the attention or even need the attention, but subtly we like to be in control. And generally we are, regardless. And it's best that people don't know because if they don't know, you keep your control. You start letting them know, well, they become conscious of it. They may actually try to do something about it. And I'm not saying Scorpios are evil or anything. It's just a natural way. It's a natural proclivity to steer the situation to a more favorable condition. And to be fair, all people do it subtly. Subtle, natural manipulations. I mean, like if you're attracted to someone, you're going to act a little differently. That type of thing. Laughing at jokes that ain't funny. Those types of things. Just because you're subtly trying to manipulate a situation, almost like you can't even help it. And Scorpios are a little bit more conscious of it because it's natural in our dispositions or for the sign in and of itself, depending on how heavy of a Scorpio that you are. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's, I put this on the question and, you got the Ace of Pentacles here and you also have that Page of Pentacles. So it's like, hey, and the moon's here, so you feel like something's secret. Something is, or you're not seeing the results. You're not seeing this new money, but you're expecting it or you're wanting it. And that's the question is about it. And you're trying to move forward. This could be you, Scorpio. Prince of Cups, male or female, doesn't matter. Or it could be, making money in something that is emotionally fulfilling to you, right? And it could be a question, maybe you work with a Pisces because that's a moon and that's a water sign. Or it's maybe you're involved with a Pisces in some way, business or pleasure, either way. And it could be the question about that. Or you have money tied up with that individual. I'm kind of curious what the path is here. And it could be that it's a Pisces that's offering you this job. Or that you're expecting the offer from. Or that's going to give you the opportunity in some way. Or maybe you have Pisces in your chart. Or that's, I say Pisces because the moon's there. But it's watery energy. It could be just Scorpio, And the Emperor, even though it's Aries card, it's a Mars card, but Mars is the ancient ruler of Scorpio. So there's a reason for that. Scorpios are very magnetic, dominant individuals naturally, without even trying to be. You'll walk into a room and your energy will be poking people, and you don't even know why. Heads turn in the room, you're like, oh, well, crap. Like you weren't even trying to do it, but the attention's already on you. It's because there's an intensity that radiates from Scorpio. It has to do with that part of the zodiac in and of itself. Because there's a lot of depth. And it's also a very mystical and spiritual house of the zodiac and sign. And I'll eventually, hopefully, make a video specifically on natal charts and specific aspects for psychic ability. That's one of the videos I will make, to kind of give people an idea of what to look for in a natal chart, what aspects to look for, what houses, those types of things. And of course, the 4th, 8th, and 12th house will be prominent in that. And so will the signs Pisces, Scorpio, and Cancer. And with Pisces, Scorpio, and Cancer, it's different types of intuitive or psychic abilities. And that's another thing I'll have to go over at some point. Come on, where are we going with it? Oh, right there. Yeah, see, so like on this path, it's like you're expecting, like with this big energy here, or whether it be a big company or like social media or whatever, yeah, you're worried about money, you know, because you're trying to find the spotlight. Like you have the 5, which is worry. You have the 4 of cups, which is luxury. And the sun, which would be like being in the spotlight or being discovered in some way, right? So that's what it could be. It could be that you're worried. That, you know, you're expecting this luxurious life and being discovered in some way and blowing up. Or even just being discovered in your place of business. Or in whatever situation that you make money. And you're worried about it. But again, I already told you, the world's yours, so it doesn't matter. It's coming. It's just, and it's saying the end of a tough cycle approaches. And that's the whole thing, right? Well, like I said with Scorpio, that's the whole aspect of transformation being death, and Scorpio being involved with transformation. And the planet Pluto is something always has to die so that something can be rebuilt. And with Scorpios, you'll notice that in your life, anytime you have a kind of major level up or any major change, something had to die or someone had to leave or anything like that. Or some situation had to crumble, even just beliefs in yourself. Massive changes within the way you see things or feel. That's always how it is with Scorpio. That's because it's the nature of the planet Pluto. It takes, but it gives. That's why people are so scared of the number 13. That's why people fear Scorpios in general. They have a bad rap most of the time. And that's why people, you know, fear the death card. Oh, gosh. But and it's more about transformation. It really is. But it is the death of something, because that's what Pluto's all about as a planet. What has to be killed or taken in order for something else to be built? You take that energy and use it to build something new. That's Big Oseti in the background right there. He's a 17-pound cat. Probably can't tell, but he is huge. Biggest cat I've ever had. Rescued him off the road. Somebody threw him out of a window in a busy highway, and I had to get him out of there. Broke his poor little leg. Had to get it. He was just big as fit in my hand. Had to get him a big surgery, get his leg fixed, and now he's massive. What we got here for this other path for Scorpios? Oh, right there. Yeah, it's faded. Like, even though you're worrying and you can't see it, right? And that might be what's dying. Because it's saying it's faded, but you also have the, you know, the 7 of Rods, which is in this deck is called Valor. And maybe that's what it is, right? You're trying to approach this in a valorous way, but by also being prepared. But you also have pleasure here, and then the wheels of fate turning. So like I said, you can't see it yet, but this is happening because the moon's here, right? And you're worried about money, but the wheels are turning, and you're going to have your valor and your pleasure. It's coming, like hands down. And you feel like you're in a stasis period, right? Like you're resting, and you feel like it's not moving, but it's coming to an end. The wheels are turning. You know, the Wheel of Fortune there, the wheels are turning. And and by being prepared, you will have your valor. I mean, this, you know, you had the 7 of Rods right here in the querent in the question. There's Ruru. He's 14. He's an old cat. We call him Mama Ruru, even though he's a male, because every time we bring in a kitten, they all love him, and he kind of integrates him into the house. Right there. This is on the advice. So this is where it's saying, you know, nurture what you're working on, and, you know, stick to your dreams, you know, and you'll have it all. You know, it's internal energy. It's something you've definitely been thinking about with the Hermit here. Something you've been meditating on, dreaming about, and it's coming in swiftly. And this could be you. You know, the Knight of Cups can be Scorpio, male or female, or it could be a water sign individual that's coming in. Maybe that's the individual, like I said, with the offer, and it could, like I said, it could have been a Pisces. Maybe it could be love in some way, or just a business partner. But it's coming in swiftly. And it's something that you've been wishing for internally, you've been meditating on. That's what the advice is saying. Like, keep focused on it. Nurture it. Keep thinking about it. Keep visualizing. Keep meditating on it, and you'll have it. And, that's what this knight is offering. He's offering this cup, moving forward with this cup, and offering it. And you're going to have it all. You're going to have exactly what you want. But again, something will have to die. It could be that someone walks away, and that's with that Eight of Cups there. It's possible. Or you having to walk away from something. Something had to die, and then you get what you want. It's just the nature of Scorpio in the sign. And that's why we represent, going from the lesser mysteries to the greater mysteries, because we understand sacrifice better than any other sign. And sacrifice is what it's all about. If you look at the story of Jesus, what is that all about? Sacrifice. What is, all of the, even being a yogi, like being enlightened, what do? They sacrifice their worldly goods and worldly desires. It's all about sacrifice. In Scorpio, we embody that as a sign. So if you have heavy Scorpio, you will understand that sacrifice is a big part of your life. And we have to decide, because we are kind of stubborn because we're fixed signs, we have to decide whether we want to cling to something desperately, and Scorpios can definitely do that, especially when they really love someone. Oh, right there. Whether they want to cling or whether they want to let it go and flow. But you got to get to that point where you understand. And as imagine Scorpios get older and they evolve from the scorpion into the eagle, you kind of understand that, and you kind of just get to know it. And you understand that the flow and the change is what it's all about. And this was on top of your outcome, which was that big transformation. You have change, right? In this deck, this is called change. It's really the Lord of Harmonious Change, the Two of Pentacles. So there's a change coming, and it's maybe more harmless than you think. It's because you've stayed strong. And you have the Emperor here, and that's a very strong energy. You've stayed strong, you've stayed virtuous, and you're going to get your change, and specifically in money. And that's what it looks like, a big change in money. And if it's been a cycle of, rough money, it's coming to an end. You're about to, it's interesting, full moon in Capricorn, but, Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, and Saturn is coming into this full moon. So it may feel rough, but we'll get through it. No doubt about it. And it looks like for Scorpio, it's going to be all good. I don't see, I see like maybe a situation you've been in, you felt rough, whether it be financially or even emotionally, but you're moving away from that. Whether it be in a company or you feel like you needed to be discovered, something like that. You're going to get what you want. You just got to stick to it. Have faith. Understand that some things may have to be given up to get this new level up. It's just the way it works for Scorpio. I mean, trust me, I've lived it many, many times. I know all about it. Something always had to die for me to get something else. Anytime I've ever leveled up, there's been a major death of some sort. Generally had to do within myself, though. Emotional. But sometimes it's actually like had to leave a place or had to lose a vehicle, those types of things, But it's just the nature of Scorpio. And if you can embrace it, it's quite beautiful. Anyway, Scorpio, please consider liking, subscribing, and commenting. I'm trying to get monetized here so I can make more videos and give more information. This is a labor of love. I'm not monetized, not even close, and I've been investing money in it already on video editing software. And, I'm not even close to getting anything in return. It's a labor of love. But if you don't want to like and subscribe and comment, that's fine. I'm just grateful for the view. I'm glad that you're here, and I hope to see you here again. Happy full moon.